Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Drudels Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Tier 5 German tank destroyer, the Stug 3G. This is a very, very deadly tank, kind of similar to how the E25 is. It's got a 160 average damage gun. It's got great dispersion values, great aiming time, decent mobility, going upwards of 48 kilometers per hour. And you may be asking, Drudels, why are you talking about a random Tier 5 vehicle today for the video? And I was kind of thinking, I was like, what do I want to start making videos on? Because I like to do tutorials and I like to help people get better at the game. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do YouTube content in the first place, was just to help out the community and get better at the game. So I was like, you know what, let's talk about some of the lower tiered vehicles, because of course the biggest stepping stone I ever had, and something I'll always remember, is reaching tier 5. It's when you've reached halfway through the tiers in the game, and it's when your vehicles really start to get these big fire-powering guns where they hurt a lot, they deal a lot more damage. A vehicle like the KV-1, of course, is, you know, a very deadly tier 5 vehicle, and it even does a good job at dealing with tier 6s. Once you hit tier 5, you've pretty much, you know, made your way up through the tiers, and then you start to get into tier 6, where players get better and better. So I figured, you know what, let's start off with some tier 5 tanks, maybe this week or next week if you like today's video, where I tell you guys about my personal opinions on how to run harder vehicles, because, you know, well, a tier 5 vehicle for a very experienced player might be 1000 XP a game, and it might only take you 20 games or so to get a tier 6 tank, but for a player that's grinding without premium account, it could take them maybe a week or even 2-3 weeks to grind just to get a tier 6 tank. And of course, that's a lot of time when you're trying to get credits and everything else like that. So let's see how we can do here. We are actually up against tier 4s, which is pretty dang nice. I will say the Stug really struggles against tier 6 tanks, because literally a KV-2 can one-shot me. Yeah, not something I'm very, very happy about if I do come up against them. But you can see that the gun is really, really accurate. Only a 2-second aiming time. Not only that, the dispersion at .312 is fantastic. 150 millimeters the standard pen means that you'll pretty much be penning everything you're aiming at. The biggest issues with this vehicle is just the armor. It has literally none of it, and that's another issue again with a vehicle like KV-2 aiming at you. Yeah, you're not going to expect to bounce a lot of shells. Now that was a perfectly aimed shot. Just Wargaming really did not like me apparently, because that shell ricocheted right off the side of that M7's turret. Now let's see if this Covenanter wants to continue pulling up. Come on. There you go. There's one nice shot into the side of him for 176 damage, and we're not even detected, as you can see, as this vehicle does have such a fantastic camo rating. And there's another nice snap for 161. So that's already 300 hit points we have picked up ourselves on the damage marker here. Now that M7 doesn't look like he's going to be backing up, and as well, the enemy tanks are on the other side of the map as well. So we can just push up here and see if we can start to flank them maybe. There's still a couple undetected vehicles on the enemy team, specifically the tank destroyers like the Wolverine. I don't think I've seen the Stug either, so some vehicles I want to keep an eye on. But since we are just spotted now, we can start getting shells into a vehicle like the Wolverine. So there's one nice tap into him. Is he going to pull out again? Of course he is. So there's two nice taps into the Wolverine already, and we've lowered what was a very healthy tier 5 TD down to just a couple shots worth of damage now. So we've also got like the Spike off to the side who, ooh, I wanted to snap that through there, but no, does not look like we're going to be getting that out. Now, judging that I am detected again, meaning that they probably have somebody in that bush or something like that, because I don't like this. I don't like being detected, of course. It's not very fun, but you know what? Another nice tap into the rear of the Stug there. Something that, of course, you want to have happen every time is taking out the other very deadly tanks on the enemy team. So we got vehicles like the Spike off to the side, the Wolverine as well. Let's see if we can maybe get a shell into the side of the Spike, aiming in and fire. There's one nice tap into the side. Are we going to be able to get another out? Doesn't look like it currently, but we're still doing a pretty solid job. Looking at my team though, and judging that they are not alive anymore over here. Oh, you know what? I got a 2 in heavy. I'm gonna turn around and come back here. I don't think that the 2 in heavy is gonna fall apart very quickly. We've also got a vehicle like the KV-1 off to the side. Nice little penetration into him. You can see where this vehicle does well, and as well, it would struggle quite a lot in the tier 5 matchmaker. It's got a great gun. Again, that gun just whips out the damage like crazy, and when you're shooting at tier 5 opponents, it's gonna hurt quite a bit. So we got that KV-1 who was pulled out to the side, but doesn't look like he's pulling out anymore. Actually, there you go. Another nice snap into that KV-1 side. We can even put on our adrenaline here and see if we can finish him off if we can. There you go, finishing off the KV-1. So using that great DPM this vehicle does come with for a tier 5 tank once again. And all that's left is the Spike over to the side. So we only did do about 1200 damage, but of course, that's a pretty respectable amount. Again, when you realize that I am only in a tier 5 vehicle. So are we going to be able to sneak this kill out? Come on. There you go, getting that second kill in for our tank here. And that probably would be about a 1200 XP game or something like that, depending on if you're running premium or anything else like that. As you can see there, that was 895. So a decent amount of experience, but that still would take me about 30 games to get a tier 6 tank. So you can definitely see how grinding through tier 5 is a really challenging thing. playing. In fact, it took me about months, I would say about 4 months, when I first started playing this game to get from a tier 5 vehicle like the AT2. Now, I can say that line was not fun. It was HE double toothpicks to get from the AT2 all the way to the FE Tune 5B183. But nonetheless, I did it, and I'm definitely proud of making my way through one of the hardest lines to play in Blitz when it first came out. So, once again, this is another battle that we are playing in the Stug, and normally I wouldn't mind playing a tier 5 tank against tier 6s if it had good armor or it had high damage, but this tank, as I said, struggles very, very largely against tier 6 tanks because it doesn't have a lot of armor, and it does have a good gun, but you gotta really get that gun working in the correct scenarios. But I'm gonna kind of run it like I did in the last battle. I'm gonna play it correctly. There you go, knock that little building down so we're clear, and as well we can knock down that truck that way. Actually, we'll knock down both of them with one singular shell or not, but that, to be honest, that's fine. So I want to be able to get shots into the enemy tanks. This is a very nice position if you don't know about it. It really gives you easy shots into vehicles that push out there if they end up flanking as well, but they got a TOG too, so I'm not super worried about them flanking. There's the TOG to be exact, and there's one nice penetration already into the TOG. So yeah, that TOG's already missing a big amount of his HP, and this is again where we get out that crazy amount of DPM on this vehicle. We're easily able to tap not one, not two, but already 3 shells into that TOG, and hopefully we're going to be able to get one more out. There you go. So we've already done about 653 hit points worth of damage in such a quick amount of time. And now I'm going to back up into cover, of course, because we were spotted, and we can move on to tanks like the Type T-34 off into this spot over here maybe. We got the Jagdpanzer as well, so let's see if we can start getting some shells into the enemy tanks. Let's go for that track wheel. Didn't hit the track wheel, but you know what, it's still penned the guy nonetheless, so going pretty well for us right off of the bat. Doesn't look like we're able to get a shell into that T-34 yet, but he's backed up into our view, and let's get one more nice tap right into the rear, so thank you very much for your HP. And let's see if he's going to let us get another snap out. Come on, dude, you know you want to. Come on. You know, this is the nice thing about tier 5 is, of course, people aren't the smartest, which means I can just kind of wait here, and that guy might make the mistake of just pulling out. I'm not sure if we can spot him through that bush, to be fair, but, you know, I might just want to push on to, like, the KV-1S over here. We also got the T-34-85, and we might just be able to snap a shell. Ooh, that was not a great shot, I can tell you that. But, you know what, we can always try again. We've got that 3485, who's not in our peripheral vision right now, but we can wait. Patience is always key, as we know in Blitz. That Y5 has just gotten slapped a lot of HP off of his vehicle, and it still doesn't look like he wants to back up as of yet, but there you go. Nice snap into the side of his tank. So he's been lowered quite a bit already. The T-3045 as well is not doing too well, and we've already managed to pick ourselves up around 1100 damage. Again, a very nice amount for a Tier 5 battle, especially against Tier 6 tanks. So they got the KV-1S left. They've also got vehicles like the Jagdpanzer, which is one of the deadliest tanks I can tell you up against us, because the Jagdpanzer has got such a ludicrous amount of damage per minute. So there's the Jagdpanzer to be exact, and actually that's an SU-100, but I take that back. So there's one tap into the SU-100. We'll see if we can get another out. No, we cannot, not as of right now at least, but I'm going to try and actually take this guy out as quickly as possible. He's got a very large amount of damage per shot, which means I don't want to be hit by him as of right now. So there's one nice snap into him. Let's go for that track wheel as well. If we can track him, that's going to be great for me. So there you go, tracking him, and oh, go, 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 go. This might hurt me quite a bit, but to be fair, we're going to take him out as it is, so let's just aim in on his weak spot, and oh no, no, this is not what I want. Turn. I think I'm actually stuck here, to be fair. Oh, gee, I love how this works out. But, you know, ooh, turn. Turn a little quicker, please. I beg of you. Oh, this vehicle does not like me, does it? Wargaming, why you do this? Yes! Aha! Take that! Alright, we got out. We just were able to get out in time to finish that guy off before he slapped us for a nice 200 damage. But again, this is a very solid game. As you can see, I started off staying at the back of the map. When you stay at the back, you're able to really use that excellent camouflage rating the vehicle does have. We were able to perform better than pretty much all the vehicles on both teams. And you saw there that, like, the poor TOG was out in the open, and I was able to tap 4 shells into that guy for 653 hit points. That's a very large amount when you think about it. Just for a couple of seconds we were shooting. So the gun on this tank, again, like the SU-100, we were able to get another 600 HP into him. The gun on this vehicle is very nice for a tier 5 tank, and if you didn't understand at least how to play this vehicle, you were struggling with it, hopefully this did clear up a couple things. So if you enjoyed today's video and you did learn something, you want to see more tier 5 reviews, maybe on the Bezetta Staffel, or otherwise known as the Toaster, or, you know, other tier 5 vehicles, the T-34, let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.